I know you're still living your life after death.
Sing it, Vinny.
Sing it, Sting. Sting sounds different, Taylor. What'd you do to Sting? Welcome into From the Nosebleeds.
This is the superior version of the
Jameis
song.
Doyle. Taylor's not behind any glass anymore. So that would be
I
disingenuous.
fucking knew he was going to address it right away.
Taylor is literally sitting right across from me. This is not how the business works. But anyway, I digress.
It's
How
all right.
was
You're
your
horny
drive
about
in?
My drive-in was phenomenal. Pat did the driving.
As always.
What the hell is his name for the Rangers? Hit a 2-run shot off a Ranger while we were in the car. That was pretty fun. But Vince, Pat,
Hello.
Michael Johnston,
How you doing?
We got to properly introduce our friend here.
now betting. Michael Johnston is here.
Our
He's a
good friend.
good friend of the show, decent guy, Villanova guy. You know what I mean?
And South Carolina.
He's Jay Wright's son.
Illegitimate, allegedly.
We got Jay Wright's son, but he's going to talk some draft with us. Mike, what's up?
How you doing, Seamus?
I'm phenomenal. I'm doing great. Phillies are back, man. They're hovering over 500. Barely.
All the way back.
You sound great.
Get the life paddles out.
No, but before we get into the crux, to the sauce of the show.
I get it, like John Kruk.
Yeah, and like Sauce Gardner. But,
Oh shit, yeah. That was actually pretty good.
I'm a big Jets fan now, by the way. I've hopped ship. I'm gonna root for the Jets.
Jets.
I don't think that's ever happened in the history of.
It's happening now.
football.
It's happening.
Jumping
like the
ship for
Eagles
the
will still be
Jets.
my team, but I'll also root for the Jets.
Just for sauce.
That's not a violation,
You
right?
really-
Because
No.
the Jets, whatever.
Well, they just have nothing
That's
to
same
do with
colors.
Because I would get a sauce jersey.
us. When did you become such a fan?
I just think he's handsome, man. He's a good-looking
I
guy.
fucking knew it.
Christ.
Again, I knew it.
Why? He's a good-looking dude. Unlike that refrigerator that we drafted, but we'll get into that later. Nah, he's whatever.
I guess we
whatever.
got to start off with probably the most depressing news.
No, we're not. No, I told you before we get into it.
Oh, okay.
We got to talk about why I haven't been here. Because everyone.
Did
wants
we
to
really
know.
have to talk about that?
I want to. Because we went to the Phillies game last week. Me, Pat, and Vince said he couldn't afford it, even though I offered to buy him a ticket.
Someone had to do the show.
And you did a good job, by the way.
Great job.
You did a great job.
I like Taylor better, but
Thanks.
it's fine.
I don't like the back and forth between you and Taylor because it sounds like that he was just trying to involve himself too much.
Well, I think you were just
He
jealous.
got jealous.
Yeah,
It's
it
fine.
was
Yeah,
it was
right.
one-on-one time with Taylor, and
There was
Seamus got
not
jealous.
one mention of me, like my absence.
That is a lie.
Exactly.
That is a flat out lie.
Not
You definitely
one-
didn't listen to the show, did
Yeah, I
you?
didn't listen to it. Are you kidding me? I'm not listening to anything that I'm not involved with. It's like
That's a team player.
yeah. But in all seriousness, it was Dollar Dog Night last week, and it's Dollar Dog Night
tonight.
again tonight. So I wanted to
Should
go.
have went tonight.
Dollar-
I wanted to go tonight.
Dollar Dog Night is a pointless concept.
Last week it was so miserable. It was just raining
How many hot
and
dogs
just
are you
fucking.
really eating?
Had like 40.
I had 10.
So I had
Jesus
2.
Christ.
That's sickening.
But dude, it
I
was
didn't eat the
it was
entire
miserable.
day just to prepare for Dollar Dog Night.
It was
and then I had to eat.
miserable.
I had to eat a bunch so I could actually drive home.
But anyway, the Drexel kids up in section 422 were doing shoeys, which
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
I hate that. That's
which for the
become a trend.
layman, it's you drink beer from your shoe, which is disgusting.
And then what? You walk around with wet socks and shoes.
Bro,
all day?
your shoes were already wet. It was pouring rain.
The worst was when like some hot
acting-
chick did it. I was like turned on by it, but it was kind of weird.
Jesus Christ.
It was
No, it was sick.
like worse though almost because
Nah,
it's
it
like
was sick.
come on man.
All that to say, that's why you missed the show last week.
Last week, and I don't know what happened the week before. I think I was in trouble with the IRS or something. But I had to straighten some shit out. But it's good to be back. Taylor, you're wearing your Marlins hat, as you know. That's pretty
I've
good.
come to expect.
You always mention me when I'm off camera.
The studios may change, but one thing will remain: that you will always be a Marlins fan.
Just because it pisses
Don't
you
forget
off.
about the Giants.
What, like, so you wake up in the morning, you're like, "Oh, going to see Seamus today. Going to put on the Marlins hat
Yeah.
just to piss him off."
Yep.
Even though it
He
doesn't
thinks
piss
about
me
you when
off.
you're not
Well,
even here.
you mention it every time I wear it, so something's happening.
Well, because I would have more respect for you if you wore like a Yankees
What makes
hat.
you think he's out to gain your respect?
I'm
what
just
makes you
say-
think I care about baseball?
Well, you clearly care. You care about my opinion on your attire because you're like, oh, I'll wear it strictly to piss you off. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
So clearly you care about what I feel.
No, I said, why do you think I care about baseball?
Okay, but like now you're circumnavigating the whole thing.
This is why maybe it's better when you're not here, because look how off the rails we're getting.
Well, we're actually in the hometown of Off the Rails,
Yeah, it's
which
right
is a
around the
great
corner.
bar. That is bar number 2 on the totem
See,
pole.
you can't even say that anymore because we're just gonna run with it.
Well, now we need to get a sponsorship or something.
Dude, how cool would it be if media got a Barnaby's? That'd be sick.
Anyway,
That'd be dangerous.
No, but anyway, no. One more point. The Marlins, dude. Listen, it's just weird. It's weird.
6-game win streak.
They're a fun team.
The Marlins.
Yeah.
they
I
are
know,
fun.
dude,
I
they're
like
hot.
Jazz.
Whatever.
Jazz is
Yeah,
electric.
Jazz is fun.
He's
Yeah.
electric.
Awesome
What's his
player.
last name?
It doesn't matter.
Chisholm or
dude.
something.
Yeah.
Come on,
Chisholm,
man.
yeah.
You're a
Donnie Baseball.
yeah, sure. He's a great manager.
He is.
dude. He sucks.
Hey, there's more playoff success in the Phillies.
Oh, okay, dude. Every team has more playoff success than the
Okay.
Phillies. So okay, I don't give a shit.
Earn my respect, Phillies.
I'm just saying, like
Go earn it.
our friend Mike always wears a Dodgers hat, and I brought that up to him like relentlessly the
Blue
other
Jays.
night.
Well, he always wears a Jeff cap now. To be
Well, now
fair.
it's a Jeff cap, which he's
That's
you know.
even worse.
Dude,
well, it's
you
because
know-
he got in a fight with an Irishman. It's a whole thing.
Do you know what he said to me on Friday night? He said, all fucked up. He said, "Seamus, you are the reason why I pay attention to baseball now." And I was like, "That's a lie. I'm
That's
sure."
sad. Oh my god.
And I'm sure he doesn't
We have to have a
even
talk with
watch
Mike.
baseball. Mike
He's
gets
at the
very
Phillies game
emotional
tonight.
with me.
He's at the Phillies game tonight.
Is he really?
Well, listen. I don't
Over
feel
under
like going
15
on a-
dogs for him.
Under what? He weighs like 15
30 pounds. Yeah.
Speaking of Friday, though, I figure that's the best segue into what we're about to talk about. I
Wait,
was
let's talk about Taylor's shoes. No,
No,
I'm
let's
kidding.
not. I was together with Pat and Seamus, but before
Those
Seamus
bad.
arrived at the scene of this I would say like tragedy.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit drunk. So is Pat.
Shocker.
When I get a notification from Twitter from Shams, and I
And
walk.
just to preface, I wasn't even looking at my phone. I was having a great time.
I read the news and I walk inside and I immediately look for Pat because I
Heard
know
the
that
news
he is.
today. Oh boy.
I know that Pat is the one that needs to know this more than anybody. So I preface it by apologizing for what I'm about to tell him, and I read that Joel Embiid suffered or I forget either right or left.
So did you act
Right
as
eye.
if like
Right
you
orbital
just found
fracture.
out like somebody's mom died?
I reacted in a sense that would be similar to if a close family member had passed.
Yeah, like a tragic
Yeah.
sudden death.
It might have been because I was drunk, but me and Pat almost shed tears in the backyard. We had to
I
go.
did.
We had to go collect ourselves for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You literally told me, and I looked you in the face. I didn't say anything. I walked out the back door, slammed the door, and just screamed "fuck" at the top of my lungs.
So, like, obviously, that's a couple
Oh,
days
boy.
ago, and we even had the game last night. But like, my immediate thoughts in the moment were just like, why? Like, why God? If there is a God, he has many crimes to answer for, and this is one of them.
He does not like basketball players from Cameroon.
My-
Or
Apparently not.
Philadelphia baseball.
Yeah, or that. But like, I don't know. You just,
Great input, Taylor,
you
by
just
the
gotta
way.
feel-
I could see why WIP wanted to hang on to you.
You just gotta feel bad for Joel because he finally like isn't. I mean, he has the thumb thing, but he clearly was playing through that just fine in that whole game, and even the game
Yeah.
before, he just looked like out of it in his head. But the Sixers crush
Mhm.
the fucking Raptors in that game. They absolutely stomp them, and at the end, they're dancing on their graves pretty much. And Joel does his airplane celebration. That he
Oh, that's so bush league. He
Yeah.
deserved to get socked in the face,
yeah,
bro.
We're talking about that. He first broke that celebration out against the Raptors in 2019 in
Mhm.
Philly, which is
He
electric.
went bush league.
And,
The announcer said that. What
Pascal-
a fucking
So,
idiot.
I will preface it with this. I don't think Pascal Siakam meant to hurt Joel,
Yeah.
but I do think it was reckless
I
and
do.
it was a move to up the physicality in the game
Mhm.
because they are friends. So I don't think he wanted to hurt him.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a reckless move to up the physicality.
Why is he still in the game anyway? Dude?
Why? Well, we can.
Dude,
ask that
Danny
question.
Green even threw shade at him on that terrible podcast that he does.
Let's talk about that then. Let's get into it.
So basically, he goes, yeah, like we were all wondering why Joel was still out there, pretty much. So, dude, you have your own players calling you out again. You see this time and time again with Doc Rivers. He sucks. He's the problem. He's got to go. But why was he still in? Why?
Because Doc
Doc's-
Rivers hates his players.
Well, Doc's reasoning was that we've blown big leads before, but that's
Yeah.
bullshit to me because you're not blowing 29
Dude,
points in 4 minutes.
that's a wrap.
And it
Never know.
It sucks even.
Never know.
If anybody did it, it would be a Doc
It
team.
sucks
so.
even more because you could tell Joel was getting ready to come out of the game. Like,
Yeah.
it was about coming down to the.
I'm pretty sure he had just sent Paul up to the scorer's table when that happened.
That
God.
just
Like,
sucks,
it's-
dude. So like, what do you guys think, Mike, Pat? Is Doc to blame here
For the
Yeah.
Joel injury?
for the injury?
Yes and no.
Yes, yeah, you can't give him the whole blame.
I
mean,
agree. It's a bit of a touchy situation. here.
Pascal shouldn't be flailing his elbows driving down the lane, and
Yeah, it's just it was overall just a shitty thing because one, it got called a defensive foul, which was a
Oh, that was
complete bullshit call.
crazy.
And then two, there was no, and they pretty much just blew it dead after that, even though there was a hostile act
Yeah.
pretty much right after it. But like it's just the reffing was terrible there. He shouldn't have been in the game. But again, like I was saying, they were literally sending Paul up to the scorer's table.
I don't really
want to
blame Doc for what's like it wasn't like an injury where like Joel tore an ACL or something. It was
Yeah.
some other player on the team made a reckless move and hurt him. And then you have, like Seamus said, the Raptors broadcaster is saying, "Oh, he got what he deserved," and even
They
the
called it
Raptors
karma.
karma, and the Raptors fans in the stadium cheer and give a standing ovation when Joel
Yeah.
gets hurt. It's just like
The Thom Brenneman of Toronto.
the Raptors fans just keep giving themselves a bad name because like it doesn't feel like that long ago when Kevin Durant got hurt and they did the same exact thing, pointed and laughed at him. So that's whatever, but it is what it is now. And we saw last night.
Wait, hold on. Let's talk about real quick about how horrific those Toronto Raptors fans are.
Oh, God.
How like
Take
dude,
a moment
they-
to reflect.
They are pieces of shit. And
like
dude,
literal scumbags.
And I know Taylor always says, "Oh, you want to be hated as Philly fans because you love it." But
I've never seen a fan base up to the level that Toronto took it to in this series. Like tweeting about Arthur Embiid's death and all that kind of shit. Like I've never seen a fan base up the intensity that much.
I just love it
It's
because
fucked.
they're
to a point where it's
like,
just psychotic more
yeah.
than anything. It's
Dude,
not even like
they get the
intensity.
whole like, "Oh, we're Canadian, we're so nice." That's
completely
bullshit.
They
fabricated.
destroyed that stereotype in
I
one
think
day.
my favorite quote about the Toronto fans was from our friend Trobro dude over at Ball. He said, "My fellow NBA fans in Canada, please use your free healthcare to go get the therapy."
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like literally,
Yeah.
because clearly there are some deep-seated issues
Yes.
in those fans
That was
that
well
are saying
played
shit like that.
by the Trill. We got to get him back on the show, dude.
Absolutely. But yeah, one of the worst encounters with a fan base I think we've had in all of sports. Even fan bases that we hate there tends to be some level of respect, and
Yeah.
there was none for our players. But whatever.
I
it
still
is
think
what it is.
Dodgers fans take the cake for shooting people outside of their stadium.
Yeah.
Like shooting Oakland A's fans. I think that's a little extreme. But yeah,
anyway,
little excessive.
Just a bit.
so last night,
but they're passionate fans.
that's one way to put that.
You know?
Last night,
It's a crime
the
of
Sixers
passion.
take on Miami, and they lose. And I don't know whether to call it a close game or not a close game because
Yeah.
it like was. Well, we'll get into it. But my first takeaway from this
Jimmy
game
Butler
is
sucks, by the way.
what the hell is Doc Rivers
sucks.
doing playing DeAndre Jordan as much as he did? Because DeAndre Jordan was minus.
Just
22.
ask Doc, dude. He said every single person in that locker room wanted DeAndre Jordan out there, and they wouldn't go out and play. Pretty much is how he put it.
Well, yeah.
If DeAndre Jordan wasn't out
I
there,
didn't want to skip around, but yeah, Doc basically says in the post game
whether you like it or not, Vince.
Doc says in the presser we're gonna play DeAndre whether you like
Whether
it or
you
not.
like it or not,
And I
DeAndre Jordan is playing.
It's just like fucking malpractice at this point because Paul Reed has a good game. And listen, I want to call out Doc for not playing Paul really up until the very end of the season because he'd have more time to have settled into a role.
Well,
Even
Paul
Charles,
Reed is a total liability.
Charles
with the fouls and
with the
everything
fouls. That's
else.
what I was gonna say.
But-
Had he played majority this year, he'd have more time to settle in. Same thing goes for Bassey. They'd be
More experience.
Yeah.
they'd be ready, and Paul Reed wouldn't be fouling every possession.
Right.
Paul
he's
Reed can-
making rookie mistakes because of the fact
Yeah,
that
oh
he
yeah.
hasn't been even
Absolutely.
playing time.
and he can actually run,
yeah.
unlike DeAndre.
Listen,
Yeah, right.
He
and he
can
could
run.
actually jump.
He has
Unlike anyone on this team besides
I don't
Tyrese.
I almost don't even. I feel like we're giving DeAndre too much credit, like to who he is as a person, by saying he can't run and jump. He won't.
Yeah,
He
no, that's- yeah,
refuses
that's
to
true.
try.
It's a combination. I
The
feel like.
only play that DeAndre Jordan will try on is a spoon-fed lob a
Mhm.
foot away from the fucking rim. Other than that, you better not expect him to chase a loose ball or even fucking rebound. And that's
my
why
favorite part of the Doc Rivers defense of DeAndre Jordan was, dude, the first 4 or 5 minutes he was great. Dude, what are you
the
talking about?
fucking
dude?
game is
What
how
the hell
long?
are you talking about?
He was a
How is
minus
that?
12.
Rebounds.
How is that? You're not like making a good case for your
Yeah.
decision.
He was literally minus 12 in those first 4 minutes.
Dude, I wish-
and they were plus 18 with him off the
I know,
wish,
I know.
I wish Keith Pompey, who is whatever he is, but he claims to be a
Sixers
reporter.
reporter
He's a-
for the Inquirer.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he's a great at his job too. But I wish he would have stepped up and said, "Hey, to one of these players, like, did you guys actually demand DeAndre Jordan
Yeah, but you can't
play.
do that.
Why?
Because that's going to sow dissent within the locker room.
Journalism's
and then it
dead.
just fucks your entire playoff
Journalism's
run.
dead. Get me in those press.
Yeah, but you know
conferences.
exactly
Get
what's
me in
gonna
there.
you know exactly what's gonna happen if you ask that question. They're gonna go, yeah, because they're just gonna agree with whatever Doc said.
I feel like
They're literally just
James
gonna agree with
Harden would
whatever
say,
their coach
no,
said.
I didn't say that.
Well, listen, we have to see if he's really going to take those like that comment and like actually run with it and play Doc no matter what, or play DJ no matter what. Because like what I don't get is the people that are sitting here at this table. We are by no means like analysts or anyone that like we know the baseline
Seamus is.
knowledge.
I was
on
going to say
on
you better
basketball,
speak for yourself.
But like we have access.
When it comes to basketball shit.
No, dude, I am the Stephen A.
Hold on.
Smith of basketball.
we have
knowledge.
access to
Oh,
these numbers.
right, you just throw shit out and hope it sticks.
No, I just flip flop. I ride the hot hand.
We have access to these
Eating
numbers
four.
that show that DeAndre Jordan is like -8 on the court and like -22 for the game, and like Paul.
Wait, but what about his Raptor?
Yeah,
What do you think?
well, Nuggets fans. But then you have like Paul Millsap -2 in the court, and then like Paul Reed is plus, I think he was 4, and the Sixers with no center were +7 or something like that
Yeah.
within those numbers. But like if we have access to these numbers and we as random people off the street can like
Again, speak for
can like
yourself.
we can look at this and be like, maybe DeAndre Jordan shouldn't play. Why can't Doc see that? And like, why was the adjustment? Doc did make an adjustment in yesterday's game, but it was the wrong way.
Yeah.
For some reason, we are succeeding in the first half with a no center set at Toby playing 5 small ball, and then I don't think he broke that lineup out again in the whole second half.
Yeah.
He was adjusting fucking backwards.
The craziest part to me too is like Toby in that small ball lineup was beating guys to the rim pretty much every single time. It didn't matter if he was beating them to the rim or sagging off for a fadeaway. Like he was doing that every single time without fail because they couldn't. Like you can't put a 5 out there on him because he's gonna blow by him.
Yeah.
And Bam Adebayo is a very under hype for center. He's
Yeah.
6'9".
Yeah.
It's a great name.
I don't know. I would just obviously we all want to see more
Bam.
Bassey. The only other question I have off the bench is like, why did Joel's injury suddenly unlock more minutes for Furkan?
Yeah, that made
I
zero,
don't know.
Like, why
zero
don't know
sense.
how
No
to-
Furkan appearances, please.
I think
People
the main
actually
reason
paid $180 for a Furkan autograph, by the way, like not too long ago at Carl's Cards in Havertown.
I genuinely think
Idiots.
the main reason is because Doc wants to try and combat their threes with more threes, and the fact that Niang wasn't hitting anything, Danny wasn't hitting
Nobody
anything.
was.
No, I know, but your main guys who you expect
Yeah.
to hit threes weren't doing it. So he said, you know what, fuck it. Why don't we just try Furkan and see if he can hit a 3? And of course he didn't do shit. He
Tyrese,
airballed it.
by the way,
Like,
Tyrese was throwing up some garbage.
The Sixers as
Yeah.
a whole shot 17% from
Yeah.
3, so like or 17.6.
I think it was 16 it was 16 if you don't include like the Furkan 3 in the last like 3 minutes.
Listen, going forward, the rotation should simply be like you start Paul and you back up him with Bassey, and if like Paul does foul out in terrible, horrific fashion,
Run the
you
small
throw in
ball.
one of the old guys, or you go small ball.
Well, you know what?
Always go small ball.
You know why though?
I agree.
Because DeAndre Jordan
Has
is
dirt on Doc or something.
no, it's Glenn Rivers' guy. I truly believe that. I
Oh,
truly,
no, he
I
definitely
truly
is.
believe
Oh, yeah.
that he like begged, cajoled Daryl to go and get DeAndre Jordan.
I'm glad you just brought up Daryl because this also falls on Daryl in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It
It's-
falls on Daryl, but if your head coach is begging you to go and grab somebody when there's not a lot of people out there at that time.
Do I agree? Yes, but you are Daryl Morey, and Doc Rivers works for you. At
I
this
wish
point.
I was Daryl
You-
Morey.
Doc Rivers works for you. You see that the things he's doing are not equaling success for this team as far as playing DeAndre Jordan 20+ minutes. Tell him to fucking do what you want and say don't fucking play
I think Daryl's
DeAndre
got
Jordan.
I think Daryl's got big picture eyes on next year and beyond.
I-
Really,
yeah,
I
no, he
really
does.
believe
Listen,
that.
I'm not saying he doesn't, but like
no, I'm saying like at this point, I don't think he
Well, I
wants
think
to
Doc
go.
is
Oh, it's a
gone.
wash.
but I think Doc's gone next year anyway.
I think with Embiid's injury,
Should be.
I think they're definitely looking like long term right now. Like Daryl's not
Which
even.
I don't know.
worried
I don't
about
want to say
any of
that pisses me off because like obviously next year could be a year that Harden is fully recovered from his hamstring and he's more gel with the team. You could win it next year.
this. Yeah, but
But this
I don't extend
this-
him at all.
This year is
By the
not
way.
left out of fucking like it's not out off the table to win something this year. Like at least the East. Like this series is still within reach even with Joel's injury. If you get him back, God, praying to God that you get him back by game 3.
If you don't,
if you can
and you're down
steal-
2-0,
if you
it's
could have
over.
stole game 1 or if you can steal game 2 on the road, this series is well within your reach. Like going into this game,
I
Daryl-
believe Lowry's out tomorrow too.
Yes,
I
he
think.
is.
Yeah.
So
Like I would really hope
your
Daryl
second
would
opportunity.
tell Doc like, please, you have to just not play this fucking guy because he's terrible.
Yeah.
And again,
But then,
Doc has
again,
the
what
numbers,
does
whatever.
Doc have to lose if he thinks that he's gone anyway? And he wants to go to L.A. I'm sure. Like, why would he even listen to Darryl? He doesn't have to.
Dude, Doc Rivers coaching a LeBron team would be something.
I think that's where, dude. He loves L.A. He's like Randy
Everyone
Newman.
loves LA.
He's like Randy Newman. Taylor, do you know who that is?
I was thinking whenever the Sixers lose out, I'm just gonna have that tweeted, be like Doc's new favorite song,
We love L.A. We love it.
the song that they play after the Lakers win the game.
I feel like especially
I didn't even know that they
especially
did
for
that.
our podcast right now, someone we got to give even more flowers to is Tobias.
Yeah.
Because listen, we've said it before.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm just looking
All
somewhere.
right, yeah, because I am the ultimate Tobias
No,
hater.
we've said it before on this podcast. We hate Tobias when he's terrible because he gets paid a lot of money, and now he's playing like a guy that actually deserves this max
Yeah,
contract.
he's playing like a man possessed.
And I've seen everyone on Twitter showing him mad love, giving him the props he deserves,
Yep.
because he's playing like a max contract player.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He handed the cuffs off to Matisse.
That dude's a
23
disaster.
starter.
He
He's a
is
fucking
he
moron.
is a terrible
gotta be
basketball
gone.
player all around.
Oh, speaking earlier today, I said it must be Matisse that wants DeAndre in the game because he clearly doesn't believe numbers and like scientific data.
Well, I mean,
So-
dude, putting all that stuff aside, right? Because whatever, whatever. He's an idiot. Whatever. He can't.
he's
play,
just not. No,
he
he's just
can't
not
play
good.
basketball
Dude, if
at all.
Matisse Thybulle could be the most adamant anti-vax player ever if he was like putting up good stat line, I wouldn't care. But
Yeah.
goes out there and he's
Dude.
a fucking disaster.
Dude, 3-and-D. That's all he had to do ever. But he just doesn't know how to
He can't
shoot.
hit a single three.
Can't
He can't.
shoot, can't dribble, can't
Yeah,
pass.
it's
And his defense is also like anymore.
His defense is good. He did get called for a bullshit
The
foul
the foul
against
on the Hero
Harrow.
3.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then Harden. I've said all year kind of since we got him, Harden gets no whistle, but
I
like
know, but dude,
it's becoming
last
more
night.
and more obvious because he got fouled.
it's obvious. But dude, you have to just adjust.
Well, hold on. I was gonna talk about Harden, but I did just want to talk about Tobias just a little bit more. Like him, like at the small ball 5, like was great, and that was our best lineup statistically speaking. And I mean, he's been better in every facet of his game this year, since the playoffs at least. Like,
Yes.
3-point shooting,
I was gonna say
mid-range
lockdown
shooting,
D.
finishing at the rim. Dude, he randomly became like an elite defender.
It started
Yeah.
at
His
the tail end
defense
of the regular season.
his
though.
defense on Pascal the first series, and his defense now on Jimmy.
But that's
looked
also
good.
that's also been a trend for him in the playoffs, like dating back a while. Because like
Mhm.
he is like I think like 4th or 5th in steals in the playoffs at this point, which is pretty nuts. But yeah, no, like he low key locks down. I think in the playoffs, especially defensively.
Yeah.
Which is funny because everybody
Except-
said he
yeah.
disappears in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he disappeared in the Hawks series. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about
a lot of
Raptors.
people did.
So did half the team.
that. Yeah.
One guy I want to talk about too before we get to Harden because he's like the biggest name on the team right now. Maxey. I
What
don't have like much to say about him. I just didn't feel like he
He was
what I
off
will-
from 3 last night.
Poor,
He was
poor
scoring
shot
every other
one,
selection.
way.
Yeah.
one
Very
for
bad.
1 for 6, 6 for 15 from the field. You just need more out of him.
Yeah.
Without Embiid, you simply need more. This game, I mean, you'd always like the shooting to be a little bit better, but 19 points if Joel was out there scoring like 30 isn't the worst thing. But
Mhm.
when you have to be a focal point of the offense, like you got to do better.
especially
than that.
especially after what he did to Miami single-handedly, pretty much.
Yeah,
earlier.
exactly.
It all goes back to James Harden.
And then
in my
this-
opinion.
Yeah, I was about to go to Harden, and this actually plays on Doc too. Why in the world, like to start the fourth and like even other quarters, like the Sixers would scratch and claw their way back into a game at the end of a quarter and go into the next quarter down like maybe 2 or 3, and then they'd bench Harden for the first 5 minutes of the
Yeah.
quarter.
Yeah.
You're simply blowing any
Yeah.
chance you had to get back in the game.
It should be a 2-minute rest, and he's right back.
Listen,
on. Like,
it is what it
very
is. Maybe
simple
it's
math.
really the hamstring and he can't handle that load.
Or maybe he's washed.
Then wave.
But
then
he
you,
did that in the Raptors
that's-
series.
yeah.
That's the thing. Like he did play 40 minutes
Listen,
a game.
you need him to play 40 minutes when Joel's not playing. 35 minutes is not going to fucking cut it.
Yeah.
You need that. And let's talk about his game. He didn't have a very good game either.
How many shots did he take?
He
14.
he went 5
14.
Okay.
for really. It says 5 for
That's,
13
that's
here on the box
abysmal.
score. 2 for 7 from 3,
Abysmal.
Yeah, his 3 was fucking
and only
terrible.
5 assists.
Abysmal.
Again, if he's not
To be fair with the assists, he was
No one was
creating
making
great
shots.
shots,
Nobody-
but
yeah,
nobody,
nobody
was
was
hitting
making
shots.
shots. but
George
yeah.
He
Niang
would have,
went
if
0 for
anybody,
7.
if anybody made like half the threes that they shot, he would have had like 17 assists.
He would have been in
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Could have won the game.
Yeah, very easily.
We would have won the game.
He's the only player on the team that made more than 1 3. Like I said, George
Yeah.
Niang went 0 for 7. Danny went 1 for 5. So, yeah, it's not all on Harden for the assists, but fuck the assists at this point. You need to fucking score.
Yeah.
But he can't.
He So I did say earlier, like I said, he doesn't get much of a whistle anymore. But like, you really just need to keep driving in the lane, dude. You need to keep being aggressive. And
That's
make
the one place
make
where
those
he
calls.
has looked a little bit more explosive in the playoffs as compared to the regular season.
His
Like,
touches looked better.
yeah,
recently.
definitely, especially against that last game against the Raptors. Obviously, I think that gave him a little bit of a springboard to go forward.
It just worries me because his shot looks gone, man. I mean, he'll hit a step back three every here and there, like he went 2 for 7, but a lot of his fucking shots bang off the side of the backboard.
He might
They're
be
like,
he might be done, dude. It might be over.
listen, I'm not gonna say that yet.
That is
I
aggressive.
want to see what next year. I want to see what next year looks
I'm
like.
not saying
because-
over. I'm just saying like these Sixers fans think that he's going to be Houston Harden.
Well, I don't know who expects
doesn't-
that anymore.
A lot of people think that.
I haven't seen
A
anyone.
lot
expect
of
that.
people think that.
I think a lot of people are just like
Dude,
trying to
no,
will.
no.
Trying to
nobody
will.
says that. No. You guys
No,
are
no,
gonna
no.
do this.
Listen, listen,
Dude,
listen.
every
please,
single
please
person
listen.
in this city. No, hold on. Every single person in this city said with
Authority
Embiid
on
out,
basketball.
Harden's going to have to take over a game and drop 30 points. He's going to have to do
And
that.
you know why they're
he
saying that,
does
right?
not have
They're
that.
trying to will it into existence
But-
when
but-
they know it's not going to. I said it yesterday. I said
Okay.
Harden's dropping 40 tonight.
So did
knowing
I.
full well that he wasn't going to.
So did I, but I'm just saying.
Well, then what is your point?
My point is that people actually expect him to do that.
No one
no
expects it.
one
People
actually
do.
expects him to do that. That's bullshit.
Yes, they do.
No one actually expects him to do that.
They actually
Seamus,
do.
saying-
Anybody that watches this
actually
team
do. There's a
knows
lot
that
of
he
people-
can't do that anymore.
Seamus, saying you
Dude,
need
Daryl Morey literally went out and got him just in case Embiid got hurt or in case Embiid had an off night that he could,
And he was doing that in Brooklyn. He had a 36-point game earlier this year.
won.
That's
he
not.
had 10,
He's
he
had 10
10
this year.
30-point games this year.
All right,
Yeah.
well maybe the injury is a lot worse than everyone's
That's
talking
what it is.
about.
Yeah,
But
that's
what
what
I
I
was going to
think,
say is
but-
just because you say you need something doesn't mean you think it's going to happen. Yeah, we needed a.
Well, then what's the point in even saying
the
it?
point was proven.
If you know it's not going to happen,
Seamus,
what's the point in even
Seamus,
saying
all those
it?
people's point was proven right. We needed a 30-point game in a James Harden. We didn't get it. We lost.
But I think people were expecting it.
I don't think anybody
don't
was
know who-
genuinely. I said it. Did not think it was going to happen. If it had happened, I would have been
I'll tell you what I
fucking
expected.
happy as shit.
I expected like 25 points.
Okay.
I don't think that's
But that's
irrational.
way too
I was
much.
No, it's
I was
not.
expecting
Right
20
now,
and
Seamus,
like
he
15
averages
assists.
23
right now
points
it
a
is.
game.
Right now it's
But
too much
but
to ask from.
this year, since he got with the Sixers, I believe he averages 22 points.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like asking for 3 more than your average is not irrational.
Well, right now it is.
Whatever. I guess we're just gonna have to disagree.
I don't think it's irrational at all. I mean,
25 points is not irrational from
It's
James
not.
Harden.
but
only-
also
and then
Well, clearly it is.
the tough part was this was the first look they really got at Miami defending Harden because obviously he hadn't played against them at all in the
Yeah.
regular season. So they did a really good job defending him. They were meeting him high with double teams. They were
He looked good in the first. He only had 4 or 5 points in the second half.
I know, but like they just really they locked him down honestly, and that's the part where it sucks not having Joel obviously because you can't come off and double Harden
Yeah.
when you have
You know
Joel
what's
right at
happening
the top
tomorrow?
of the key.
35 points for James Harden.
There you go.
That's what's happening
You
tomorrow.
must
I
expect
think
that.
he's bipolar.
No, what-
35 points for
my
Harden.
my takeaway from the game though, like more than just like Doc being a fucking idiot, was I'm so fucking mad Joel's hurt because this could be a series wrapped up in 5.
I know.
The Heat
I
don't
know.
look that good.
They're
They
not.
looked
And
That second quarter from them was one of the worst second quarters I've seen from.
The fuck-
No, I can't say
Dude,
that
listen.
because the Sixers had a worse second
the
quarter
fact
against the Raptors.
that
but
Joel,
That second quarter
the
wasn't
fact
bad,
that
though.
Joel Embiid doesn't play in this game and we go into halftime up, and
up
this
one.
and this game is a close game up until the fourth quarter. It doesn't bode well for Miami.
Up until like halfway through the third, but okay.
Even letting a team without by far their best player who could have been MVP this year, letting that team hang around for that long does not bode well for you, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Especially letting us come back as much as we did because we were down 14 in the first quarter.
Not to mention in a game where the team collectively shoots 17% from 3.
Yeah,
And like now Miami also didn't shoot great from 3.
yeah, they didn't either.
They shot
25.
25%. Yeah, so like
In the first half, they were pretty much even with us from 3.
yeah.
It was like they were like 7 of 30. We were like
But like if Joel plays in this
4
game,
25.
they win this game, and
yeah.
the way they looked, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah,
if,
but
like,
dude,
Sixers
they
win
have to
5.
figure it out, dude. They have to figure it out regardless.
Well, like
There's no point in
Seamus,
saying, oh, well,
we're all-
Embiid's not here, so
listen,
they could have done this.
We're all being optimistic, but we've all said before this series, before the Raptors series, going into the playoffs, everyone knew we were an Embiid injury away from being done.
Yeah.
So
and
like,
dude, and honestly,
it's
man,
being optimistic.
it was bound to happen.
It's being
Embiid
optimistic,
injury.
but my expectation is we're going down 0-2, and it's going to be on Joel to play in Game 3 and win both at home to bring us back in this series.
And he's going to be hurting, obviously.
I don't think you win games in the playoffs without Joel Embiid.
You don't.
Right, so like it's
They,
almost
dude, they got exposed for who they are last night,
so, like,
dude.
at this
They
point.
got exposed for who they
but
are
I'm
without,
watching-
without Embiid.
I'm watching with no expectations.
How is that wrong?
No, but it's just a dumb statement. Of course they're going to get.
Yeah,
They're
every
playing
team
with
without
their
their
best
best player.
I'm just saying.
If you like Luka, like obviously they won one game
I
without
know, but
him.
why get James
But-
Harden?
But
then?
Seamus, why call it being exposed? If you took a best player off any one of their teams, they're all going to lose. It's not like being exposed. It's wait,
Why
our
did
best
we get? Why did everyone say, "Oh, well"?
to be
we,
a
we
number
got James
to
Harden
be number 2
for a
Get him to
reason.
pair with Joel
Yeah, to
Embiid,
pair-
not to
right.
solo.
No, but it was if he went down, you
No,
have a
it wa-
shot.
Seamus, we've all
Who
been
said
saying
that?
if Joel Embiid went
I don't
down,
think
this team
anyone
was
said
fucked
that.
anyway. It was to pair James. Honestly, the biggest reason why we brought James Harden in is to make the Joel Embiid the bench minutes more bearable.
Yeah.
That was really it, and pairing him. I don't
Oh,
think I
whatever.
ever saw anyone say if Joel Embiid goes down, at least James Harden can carry this
I
team
don't give
now.
a shit, dude. Honestly, I don't care. Enough.
Yes,
I really don't.
Finally.
I don't give a
Finally.
shit.
We broke
The
him.
Sixers
The mask
suck.
is
Finally.
They will
gone.
never win another championship again in our lifetimes.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
over.
Why would you say that about the Phillies?
Oh boy.
Whatever. It is what it is. You got game 2 tomorrow. What time is it?
Who cares?
Probably 7:30.
Probably
8 o'clock.
7:30.
Who cares? They're gonna
yeah.
lose.
By
Like you
the-
said, they're gonna lose.
I'll
So
see
what's
you
a,
at Barnes.
you just said? Yes.
No, I'm watching.
See, I got him excited for a
I'm
second.
watching-
No, dude, I'm excited. I'm literally trolling every single one of you
Seamus,
guys
I'm watching.
because I care. But every time I say something, oh, nobody says, oh, dude, relax. You're irrational because you think that you. I don't know, dude. Your minds are warped by being Philadelphia sports fans.
That
It's
is-
a mental illness.
That is bold coming
Look
from
in the
you. as a
mirror,
Philly-
my
yeah,
God.
Right.
It's a mental illness, and that's fine.
The man who's been
Go
a
talk to Ben.
strict Phillies fan.
No,
for
but
the
all
last
I'm
however
saying, dude, all I'm saying is, dude, you just said take away anyone's best player and you don't have a chance. You're going to
Yes.
lose. So why are you watching the game tomorrow?
Because I love
Why?
I love basketball and I love the Sixers.
Knowing that they're going to lose.
I'm watching with no expectations.
The
Okay.
playoffs.
Okay, just like the Stones, got no expectations.
I got
That's fine.
none.
Would
But-
you not watch a playoff baseball game?
Yeah, right.
I mean, it depends.
no. Fuck
Do you
off.
think I give a shit about an ALDS?
Yes,
No,
because
I-
you're a
I
baseball
don't.
freak.
Even I care about that.
So
I know,
if the
but I'm not
Phillies,
gonna
if
sit
the
down and
Phillies
watch.
didn't have Bryce and they were playing a playoff game, would you watch?
Yeah, dude. Because it's a different sport.
All right, if they didn't have Bryce, Castellanos, Schwarber,
They wouldn't be in the
Hoskins-
playoffs.
No, but it all
Will they
just
all die in a
freak,
plane
Yeah,
crash?
freak,
Yes.
They get
freak
hurt
plane
in
crash.
NLDS.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. If
Would
they
you
all
still
die
watch?
tragically from the
Would you?
shot,
Would you
All
still
right, they don't
watch?
have to die. They don't have to die.
Matisse Thybulle thinks that you can die from the shot, I assume. So if they all got the shot and proved Matisse to be right and they all died,
We gotta move on.
and it's just like Roman Quinn and
Would you
Odubel
watch?
Herrera, would I watch? Yes.
Yeah. See?
Wait, we didn't get Seamus' reaction to Joel Embiid's game-winning buzzer beater.
Oh, yeah, we never
almost
did.
buzzer beater.
Cool.
Oh
I-
no,
I was at- I was at Barnaby's.
There's a video of it.
Oh, yeah. I was freaking out.
Yeah, we were like, that was insane.
That feels like a year ago.
Yeah,
we
it
we
does.
were we were playing the song. Luke was giving me free Bud
No,
Lights.
we weren't playing the song because Barnaby's doesn't have control of.
We
their
were
fucking
singing the
audio.
song.
We were screaming the
we
song.
were screaming the song. And
Okay.
Luke gave us free Bud Lights.
Well, hopefully
Well, he
we will
always
be
does that.
screaming the song tomorrow after a Sixers win. We
Well,
can
I
only
mean,
hope.
you say it's over. So.
Yeah, I mean, last one I watched at Barnes was that game winner. So
Me too, because I decided not to go last
So
night.
then you better go tomorrow.
I'm going tomorrow.
I'll be there.
Let's talk about something that has been a net positive in Philadelphia. The same night the Sixers crush the Raptors, the Eagles make two big moves. First, they trade from 15 up to 13. They also added some late-round picks. I don't remember the exact details of the trade. But they move up for Jordan Davis. They jump the Ravens, who there was a lot of smoke around that they were going to take him. The Ravens end up with Kyle Hamilton, and we can get into that debate on who we all would have wanted. And then they make the biggest move that they've made in years, and they trade the 18th pick and a third-round pick for A.J. Brown.
People were going.
Arthur Juan
dude.
Brown.
People were going. Oh, it's like getting T.O. I don't know about that.
Listen, it's
not the same type of caliber, but it's still a big
It's-
deal to
it's-
get a legitimate
yes.
wide
Oh,
receiver
I'm not
one.
saying that it's not, but I'm just saying
A.J.
it's-
Brown isn't T.O. You're right.
No.
But, like, it's the first time we've had, like, a fucking elite wide receiver like this, and we've
Since
traded for one.
T.O.
Since T.O., yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
And especially a guy that, like,
T-Jax.
and a guy that wanted to be here like that. Like, A.J. Brown
Yeah.
wants to be here.
Yeah.
He's best friends with Jalen Hurts.
which I don't understand.
I didn't know that. That's cool. I just had
Yeah.
no idea that they were that
found
good.
that out.
I really don't know what the connection. I don't know if you do. Like,
He
Like,
he tried to recruit him to Alabama, but he chilled.
I mean, like,
Ole Miss.
they
Okay,
said,
but does
okay.
that equal best friends?
I guess they hit
yes,
it off
because
and
they
they've been hanging
became
out
friends
since, yeah.
while he was trying to
On
court
that
him,
official
though.
visit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Guys get
apparently
close.
I don't know. What?
apparently.
Oh, what? Dude? Oh, I'm
It's
Taylor. I'm
kind
a
of
college athlete.
to put it in your perspective. It's like you trying to court Taylor.
Except
And
it
then-
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but imagine it works, and then you guys become best friends.
And then he actually drinks with me.
Yeah.
But apparently, I don't
And
know.
you drive.
I don't know which one of them has a daughter, but they were at each other's like kids' birthday parties, like literally last week.
Yeah.
One of them's like a godfather of the other
I heard that
child
as
or
well.
something. Yeah.
So
That's
they're-
going to be really weird when Jalen just gets traded
okay. Stop being such a negative fuck.
or released.
I definitely think this shows
Oh,
that they
Vince.
believe
Or
in him for a
dies.
while.
I'm just saying.
So first and foremost, let's talk about the pick. Jordan Davis.
I
What
love
thoughts?
it. I fucking love it.
He's too fat. It's never going to work, bro.
He runs a 4.8.
It's never going to work.
It's never going
He
to work.
runs a 4.8 at 3.
It's never going to work.
Or 340.
No, I
That
love
is
it.
fucking
The
incredible.
legitimate concerns
love
are
it.
if people think he'll be able to develop into a pass rusher.
That's my biggest concern. He looks uninterested at times in the pass rush. Right now, he's a 2-down nose guard. So
Yeah.
to get him on the field, we kind of have to adjust our entire defense to a 3-4 or an odd front.
Which is what Jonathan Gannon wants to run. Which is
Yeah.
interesting that we're tailoring our defense.
Tailoring
considering he
That
might
also
not-
helps out Hassan Reddick too, who's
Yeah.
a natural 3-4 outside linebacker edge rusher.
Which,
So-
by the way, I keep forgetting we had at him, and that is a great
Yeah.
pickup.
Yeah, I mean,
He likes
he's
my
been
tweets.
awesome.
But would you guys have rather had Kyle Hamilton? That's the biggest like debate in the city right now. I think with this pick, because Kyle Hamilton was a lot of people's.
I'm going to be straight up with
number
you
one
about
best
Kyle
prospect.
Hamilton, right? I have no idea who the hell it is. I just have no clue who
Yeah,
it
okay.
is. And I just heard people crying on the radio.
Wait, do you know his position?
No,
School?
no. I don't
His-
care
his-
about
his
it.
Okay,
Wait,
well,
his
if you don't care,
ethnicity.
let the people who care talk.
I'm just saying I don't know who it is.
His ethnicity?
Black,
No.
White.
Interracial.
Yeah,
He's in
interracial.
mixed. I got it on the third time.
But listen, my takeaway is I don't know why people are acting surprised at the pick because the Eagles have shown what they care about.
You
They care
know
about
how
the
he
line.
loves building the trenches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
so,
that's another
so
thing.
what position is this Hamilton?
Say he's a
fella?
safety.
He's a safety.
That would have been
He's
nice.
kind of all over the secondary,
Yeah.
really. He can play some sub linebacker.
So yeah, that sucks.
I'm
I
fine
guess.
with the pick though. I think that Jordan Davis. I feel like our line coaches can like hopefully
They're
mend him
very
into
good at
more.
developing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Milton Williams in his limited snaps last year looked very solid on the
Yes.
D line.
And I
So-
really just think Fletch is going to take that kid under his wing and
Exactly.
just make
Listen,
him into
That's
him.
the hope.
Listen,
yeah.
Fletch is still on
You
the team.
also
Yeah, they
want
just
him.
restructured his. They
Oh,
remember
boy.
they released him.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
was up in arms, and then
Yeah.
they immediately signed him back and on a much
You-
cheaper deal.
Also,
Nice.
you want Jordan Davis to develop into a pass rusher, but
Yeah.
you have to remember also like guys like Vita Vey and just run stuffers
Yeah.
are also very valuable.
Mhm.
That's
And
his-
that's more what
yeah.
Fletch has been doing with BG, like especially with BG in the past couple of years. Like Fletch
Yeah.
has taken on more of like a run stopping role than
And
anything.
now
you
you know
eat
you
up the A gap, take
Yeah.
on two blockers, let the other guys get to the quarterback essentially.
So what is
Because-
this that people are talking about Jordan Davis like not playing third down
That's-
snaps?
that's-
he's not
yeah.
a pass rusher.
So that's what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
So like in a third and long, they're gonna
Go
So
with
that's
someone
an
else.
so that's an
Pass.
issue.
yeah.
it could be an issue to people. Yeah.
To me, right now, I preferred Kyle Hamilton just because Jordan Davis is a rotational defensive tackle instead of being out there 3 downs. While Hamilton, he can play safety, slot corner, sub linebacker. He can kind of do anything. Is more of an immediate
He's
need.
like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
I think the worst part too is like I think the Eagles were thinking they were getting Tyrann Matthew, and that's probably why they
yeah.
just went up and
Yeah,
got Jordan Davis.
Sellout,
Yeah.
by the way.
That does
He
hurt.
is a sellout.
Listen,
He
if
went
the
to his
money was
hometown.
close, he was always going to go home.
Yeah.
He's a sellout.
I mean, the Saints are still going to be bad. I saw today.
He doesn't want to win.
I don't remember what analyst was saying that the Saints are the team to beat in the NFC South.
Oh, please, dude.
They might come in last.
Give me a
Oh,
break, dude.
I mean, the Panthers,
Falcons.
Falcons.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the point is, the
Okay,
Saints,
Corral,
still gonna-
baby.
they're
It's
still
just
going to be bad.
Corral.
It's just
The
gonna be
Saints
a
are
shit
terrible.
fest. It's gonna be a shit fest between those three teams.
It's just
honestly.
going to be the
Yeah.
Bucks and then everybody
I'm
else.
not scared of
Yeah.
Jameis Winston. I'm sorry.
no, God.
But
he just got a college degree
the
today.
first
yesterday.
Yes,
first day of
whatever.
the draft, the grade you would give the
Cool.
Eagles
Oh,
has to be
no.
like an A plus.
Yeah.
Like at least an A.
Day
An A.
one, yeah, I give it an
Uh,
A.
Trading for AJ Brown. Let's talk about that part now. AJ Brown is 24 years old, going to
Yep.
turn 25 by the time the season starts. I think his birthday's in June. But like you pay him a 4-year, $100 million contract. I think it's $57 million guaranteed.
Yep.
Dude, like that's not much. Like, and
It's not.
He got Christian Kirk money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And he's young, dude. Like, it's not like a Tyreek Hill situation or I forget who else signed a big contract this offseason. I can't remember. But like,
Devontae.
oh yeah,
Devontae
like they're
Adams, yeah.
older guys. Like
Yeah.
AJ Brown is just really entering his prime.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you got to remember the Titans are very run heavy, and I know the Eagles are too. But you're hoping that with the emergence of Jalen as a passer, your hope is coming. Like that will change, and also adding AJ, like what does that do for Devontae Smith? Now
Opens
he's a
his game
number
up.
2 receiver. Even Quez Watkins, I think I would be way more comfortable with Quez Watkins at a 3 or 4 because you have also Zach Pascal.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, I'm hyped for him in the red zone.
yeah.
Very
Listen,
hyped for him in the red zone.
But like I was saying, Quez Watkins last year had to play number 2 wide receiver. He is not that.
Clearly, he's not.
I
that.
think him at 3rd or 4th is perfect because he's a fast guy. He can just turn the burners on, get downfield.
Yeah.
Got
You
him
don't have
matched
to
up with the
yeah.
safety.
Don't ask too much of him. Just when he's out there, just bombs away pretty much.
What I'm probably just like going along Pascal and stuff. Like I'm very excited for that because every time I think of like a guy in the red zone, I just think of Greg Ward dropping touchdown passes like in the like literally in the end zone.
Yeah.
And having like Pascal as that 3rd or 4th option, especially in the red zone, is gonna be fucking awesome because he had, was like 100% on red zone passes last
I
year,
believe
Literally
Carson
100%.
Wentz had a perfect passer
Yes.
rating throwing
Every
to
time, yeah.
Pascal in the
which is
red zone.
fucking
say,
awesome.
Getting Carson Wentz to a perfect passer rating is also very
Yeah,
difficult.
pretty
So,
impressive.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to see what they do when they get the red zone with him.
You got one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL now. Like
Sirianni's an
it's
odd
worth-
guy, by the way.
It's worth noting that now we went from one
He's
of the worst
a weird guy.
to one of the best. Like that is great, and I think Devontae Smith could easily have like, a great fucking season.
He goes to like the dive of dives in my hometown.
Does he really?
Yes.
Who?
Sirianni.
Oh wow.
He likes to get down. Yeah.
Maybe that's why he doesn't know how to conduct himself in front of
Oh
cameras.
God.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Well, I wish he was just drunk for every interview. Honestly, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
He-
but
he
at
would
least-
be way more
dude,
loose. Yeah.
Dude, he'd be way more loose. You gotta dude. At
Because
least
every
Kruk makes no sense ever, but it's because he's drunk.
every time I see
And
him like
concussed.
interacting with a fan in a video on like Sea Isle or some shit like that, like he seems so like loose and normal. It's probably because he's hammered. So I would just love to see him hammered in an interview.
Oh yeah. Well, the flowers and everything.
Yeah.
Dude, he'd probably
this
go on
guy.
about how he poured alcohol in his flowers and they
It's
grew even
fucking
more.
The offense should be fun this year. Though, like J-Jaw converting to a tight end should be
Yeah.
interesting. We drafted a tight end. I can't remember
I'm
his
a
name.
big fan of Grant Calcaterra.
Yeah, I heard he'd
Who?
be a top prospect if he
Who the
wasn't
hell is that?
suffering from concussion issues.
It's our 6th-round draft pick out of SMU. Previously at Oklahoma before retiring. He retired in college because of concussion issues. But
So
he's
you're
a
optimistic? Why?
because he's a legit natural
He
receiver.
came back,
He-
Seamus.
he
But
came-
what if this is like a Tommy Joseph type
then you
situation?
wasted your
Who
6th-round pick,
cares?
and who
Six-
cares?
Yeah, that's
Who gives
true.
a
He's
fuck?
the
This is-
198th pick.
So
of the
he's got a
draft.
high ceiling.
Very
high
high
s- yeah.
ceiling.
All right.
Very
The sixth-
natural
The
receiver.
6th
He's
round's where you
athletic.
get a little weird with
I
him.
like that.
It's like
How old is he?
Mylata was drafted in like the 6th or 7th, right?
Mylata,
Yeah.
6th round.
You
How
get-
old
you
is
get
How
weird
old
with
is
it.
this guy?
He's probably a 5th year, I believe.
All right.
Like a super senior.
Alright.
Yeah, so I mean, apparently he has great hands and he's big.
He played
so-
with Baker and Kyler Murray in college. I mean,
There you go. What about the center?
I was gonna say 2nd-round pick. We go with Cam Jurgens.
Jair Jurgens or whatever that
Cam
was.
Jurgens.
Beef Jergy.
Beef
One of
jerky.
the best
funny
nicknames
part-
in Philly history already.
The funny part is we're all sitting there watching that happen. We were sitting there watching it happen, and we just saw like, how the fuck did you not pick Nakobe Dean?
Which is, yeah, it's funny how it comes around. But no, listen, Jason Kelsey was apparently pivotal in this pick and
I like
kind of hand-picking his
Hand-pick.
replacement. And
Mhm.
listen, at this point, you can do no wrong with offensive linemen because you have the best guy in the NFL
Chip
at
Stalin,
at
yeah.
developing them. So
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt in my mind Jurgens will come out, start next year, and be a stud probably.
Yeah. Wasn't a sexy pick because, again, he's not an immediate need, but
Mhm.
setting us up for the future. He was my 2nd center
Yeah,
in my
exactly.
drafting after Tyler Linderbaum, so
You
I'll
gotta-
take it.
Yeah, I'll take it easily. And then for the 2nd pick of that night, the Eagles do pick up Nakobe Dean.
Steal of the draft.
Which
Absolutely.
easily could be because there was a lot of false rumors going out around there about his pec, and
Yep.
apparently that's why he fell. But the Eagles doctors felt comfortable with everything. So I
Which
mean,
kind of scares me, but still.
yeah, listen,
Yeah.
it
With
is
the
what-
Eagles' doctor's history, it kind of
listen,
scares
it's a
me.
risk I'm more than willing to take because if you get healthy Nakobe Dean,
Yeah.
I think the biggest issues about him, besides the injury, is people
He's
said he's
small.
undersized. He's 5'11". I forget how much he weighs.
5'11", 225-ish.
So
Still
he-
towering over
he's-
me.
He's undersized, but he makes up for that in like his heart. And I don't want to sound like corny.
He's got an
but
enlarged
he
heart
literally
too.
he was the heart of the Georgia defense, which was far and away the best in the country last year.
Had what,
Mhm.
5 or 6
All
guys
time.
drafted in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. One of the best defenses of all time in college football. He was the heart and soul of it. You see videos from like the Natty where he's getting on his guys about missing a play, and he brings that leadership quality that I think has been lacking on. I'm not saying he's going to immediately
definitely,
go
yeah.
into that role, but there's been a leadership hole on our defense since Malcolm Jenkins left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm obviously, like I just said, Nakobe Dean is not going to come and be our leader day one, but he can easily develop into that role. And I also like pairing him with Jordan Davis. They obviously, like, the vibes are high. You got
Yeah.
Jalen and AJ are best friends. Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean are friends. I do think that counts for something. And then obviously, like I said, you added Hassan Reddick, Kaiser White,
Yep.
Yeah.
Davion Taylor will come
Yeah.
back. Like, this Eagles linebacker core looks like it could be turning around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very optimistic about it. If everybody can stay healthy, like it's just going to be huge.
Davion Taylor too.
Yeah, exactly. Like if he comes back healthy and looking like he did last year in this limited, little bit of a limited sample size, but
Yeah.
like still, like if he comes back looking like that and consistently and he stays healthy, then that's going to be fucking
Skip
phenomenal.
likes the birds
so-
now.
Exactly.
You know what I
But
mean?
yeah, this Nakobe Dean pick definitely inspires like excitement. And Mike, I'm gonna give this one to you because I know you probably have all them ready. The undrafted free agents were
I
also
do
a
have that ready.
huge. How we hit another A+ draft after the draft.
I'm a huge fan of our undrafted free agent signing. Like Carson Strong coming into
Yeah.
this college season.
I know
Yeah,
who that
his
is, by the way.
His name is
No, I
Carson,
know.
so it's
That's
a
the
little,
only
I
reason
think
why I know who he
my
is.
favorite tweet of the whole draft weekend was this is the first Carson that will play quarterback for Philadelphia.
How about that?
But coming into this college season, he was my QB1 ahead of guys like Sam Howell and Desmond Ritter. Kenny Pickett was an afterthought coming into the season, but he's 6'4". He's got prototypical QB size. He's got a monster arm. His big issue is had 3 surgeries, I think, on his knees. But
God.
There's always something with these guys
but,
that come
but
to Philadelphia.
in the
man.
pocket,
Always.
he's probably the most natural passer, I'd say, out of the QBs coming out of this draft. But then again, he dropped because of those knee issues.
Yeah.
But he can come in right now. He could be our QB3. If we decide to move on from Minshew,
That'd be
I
huge,
kinda,
honestly.
another
I'm
cost control
surprised he
QB2.
survived.
Yeah, no, I am too. 'Cause
Him and
I mean,
Rager, I was like, maybe both of them get moved.
I don't
but
think anybody wanted Rager in the long run.
I'm not to get off track. I'm fine with Rager being cut.
I
at
could
this
see
point.
Minshew
Yes.
being like a training camp trade. If like
Yeah,
another
yeah.
QB goes down, we can snag like a 5th round pick or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be fine with that.
And Howie looks like he might have solved our returning woes. He
Yeah.
signed Britton Covey out of Utah.
Who had an amazing return against?
If you watch the
Ohio
Rose
State.
Bowl, yep, that was electric.
That takes those that takes that.
Taylor, you'd
position
be
away
shocked to
from
know that I
Jalen
missed the
Reagor,
Rose Bowl this year.
because Jalen Rager, among his inability to catch the ball, also can't return it either. So that's huge.
We get an All Big 12, former All Big First Team All Big 12 running back in Kennedy Brooks out of Oklahoma.
And he's a bruiser, so that's
Yeah.
probably bye for Jordan Howard.
That's my thinking too.
Please,
Well, they'll bring him back in like 3 years.
Yeah, he'll
They'll
randomly
sign him to like a
No, but
2-year deal.
That
Right.
was great, man. He was good this year. You just said all Big 12 running back, and like
Mhm.
he is a bruiser, so he is that guy you need on like maybe a 3rd down
Yeah.
back.
Mhm.
3 straight years over 1K yards.
Yeah, I mean
Not too shabby.
that's
I like that.
and this wasn't not a running
Because
back.
by the way,
heavy draft.
I am not a big fan of Miles Sanders at all.
Well, yeah, we
I'm
know.
just not a huge fan of his.
Well, I
so
mean, no one
give
really.
give me running back.
I wouldn't
then.
say anyone
You
in
don't
the
like
city
boobies?
is a huge fan.
I love
of,
boobies, but I'm more of an ass guy though, and that's well noted.
I wouldn't say anyone in
Horny
the city is
hour.
like a huge fan
It's always
of
the
Miles
horny
Sanders
hour.
right now.
I think Mike
Yeah.
Johnston's the perfect guy to have on the horny hour
Oh, he would love the
because
horny hour.
Mike is low key hornier than me.
That's
That is not true.
No, he is. He's just as horny.
You can get there.
See, I don't lie, dude.
Did-
But I'm more horny.
It's
No,
just
did
whenever
we
he
have-
watches Euphoria, you know.
Well, I mean,
Great show.
all right, who among us?
Yeah, I know.
Don't.
I
throw
still
stones
can't
if you
believe
live in a
Seamus won't
glass
watch it.
house.
Come on,
What?
man. Sydney
Euphoria.
Euphoria.
That'd be all he talked about.
What is it?
Oh,
It's a
dude.
show, but
Is it
we're not
about? Is it like porn?
I mean,
It's
yeah,
close.
It's pretty,
Softcore.
pretty
Yeah.
fucking close.
Oh, I can
yeah.
get down with some softcore.
But all right. Anyway,
some
did we have
Skinamax.
any other UDFAs on offense?
Skinamax.
Was that it?
That's it from the skill positions.
I
But
thought so.
3-0 lineman.
I'll talk about some
I
skill
I really like
positions.
Josh Sills, lineman out of Oklahoma State, another first team All Big 12. He showed a lot of versatility along the O line.
Any relation to Kenny?
No.
But
But get some outside and
Yeah.
get him in a room with Jeff
That's what I was
Stoutland.
about to
Like,
say.
Yeah.
he can develop guys.
yeah, I think he could be like a swing guy along the O line this year. He's mostly a left guard, but he's played right tackle. He can play all over. So I'm hoping he and with Nate Herbig not coming back,
Yeah.
So
That's fine.
you
by
could-
Didn't
me.
he
could
get
fill a
cut
hole.
or no?
So they-
mutually parted ways, I
Yeah.
believe.
How about that?
They were gonna have him as an RFA, but then
That's a
they
big
were-
loss.
His agent was just like, "Nah, fuck it, let's
Yeah,
go."
he'll find a job somewhere. He's
Yeah.
not a bad player.
We
I
gotta
just-
get Mike on like throughout the season, just to keep tabs with these guys.
Yeah,
You know
the
what I mean?
practice squad guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
Seriously,
Yeah.
we can make Mike a whole segment.
I was just about to say that.
I'm serious.
But the most exciting free agents, in my opinion, were the guys on defense and the
DBs.
secondary.
Josh Jobe out of Bama.
Love that.
A lot of people had him pegged as a 4th round pick this year, but he just kept falling and falling for. They never really said. But he
Yeah.
had a disappointing season. He had a turf toe issue that he played through. He's nothing more than a depth pick, I think. He really tight hips, doesn't swing them real well coming out of breaks. But I really like Mario Goodrich out of Clemson. He has similar issues, but then again, he's got the length, he's got height, he's kind of a mid athleticism. But he had a great game against Syracuse, great game against Kenny Pickett last season. But you can get him in special teams. Josh Blackwell out of Duke, the same. Developmental DB, elite athlete, ran a 4.3 40 at his pro day, 6.75 3-cone, but very raw. Probably won't be anything more than a special teams or practice squad dude.
Coach K product, I'm sure.
Yeah, Coach K is coaching all the.
You know what I'm saying? I think Coach K runs everything over there, low key.
I mean, he should.
The Duke Catholic club he runs. He's definitely a far right.
The skull and
lunatic.
bones. The skull and bones.
Overall, though, like
Skull and
listen,
bones.
this
The George Bush did
I've-
9/11
I've
fan
planted
club.
my flag in this a lot, and I'm gonna do it again. Howie Roseman, give him
here we
his
go.
fucking flowers,
Here we
man.
go, dude. Here
This
we go.
fucking city.
This must be like how Bobby Dubs feels like in the playoffs when Tobias scores like over 20 points. You just feel vindicated, don't you?
I completely feel vindicated because it's just been a bullshit narrative.
No, I
I
told
still
you. dude.
hate him
What
as a
did I tell
person,
you?
but he had a fantastic draft.
Vince,
and
what
he
did I tell you?
great.
I said I will apologize to Howie Roseman, and I did.
Yeah,
I won't.
and that's fine.
I just still hate him
Listen,
as a person.
Howie Roseman again. This must
That
be the
that
millionth
could,
time.
you could get yourself in some trouble.
This must
with
be the
that.
millionth time I've said this. He missed on one of the worst picks ever.
Okay.
Like
Jalen
everybody else does.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Was that a Dan
Point
Baker
me in the
voice?
direction of a GM that doesn't miss. There isn't one.
He just got
He made him-
DK's better teammate though.
Yeah,
See, how about that? It all works
Full
works
circle.
itself out.
that's what I'm talking
It's full
about.
circle is right.
Like passing on DKP. I don't even think people get mad about that anymore because.
By the
it's-
way, AJ threw
it's
the first
ridiculous.
pitch at the Phillies game tonight
He did.
Oh, awesome.
to Johan Camargo.
Wow,
But-
are they losing still though?
No, they're up.
They were up.
Dumbass.
Oh wow.
Long story short, City
where do
needs to
you
respect
solution,
Howie
you know?
Roseman. He had another A-graded draft, acquired one of the best young wide receivers in all of football. I'd say he's a fine drafter. He finesses in trades. He's a master at working the cap. He is one of the best GMs in fucking football.
Easily.
And people only micromanage him
How
because
many
he's our
GMs
GM.
are like amazing though?
John Lynch is a good GM, I
Brandon
think.
Bean up in Buffalo.
Like, that's what I mean, though, Seamus. Who are you? Everyone's so eager to fire Howie. Who are you bringing in that's just going to do the job
Dude,
perfectly?
I'm with you, man. I don't have any answers.
It's just a ridiculous narrative, and I think the only reason we do it is because it's easy to fixate on like Howie's mistakes because he's the GM.
I think
here.
you got to bring
And you
Joe
aren't-
Banner back.
You aren't looking at like, oh, who are the guys that the Carolina Panthers drafted in the 6th round that didn't turn out, or like we're not focusing on that. So people just think our GM sucks. I think it's bullshit. You guys know that.
Yep.
But that's whatever. That is what it is. Should be a fun year
It
for the
is what
Eagles.
it
I mean,
is. I am who I am.
assuming that Jalen Hurts took that step forward this year and became a better passer, like I don't see any reason why the Eagles wouldn't make the playoffs. Cowboys had one graded wise, they had one of the worst drafts.
Yeah,
I don't really
pretty
know
mid.
exactly how that all went down for them, but
Honestly, going back to Jalen for a second, the plus side with that too is like you just got AJ Brown, who's a big yak guy. So like,
Yep.
if you could just throw it to him, even if you don't really need a deep ball with him, like if you could just get it to him in space, he
turn
will
him in
get
the
you
turn
more
him in the
yards.
slant boy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, like
He'll
literally,
take it
like to a
75
T.
yards to the house.
Yeah, like he's that kind of guy. So it's like where DK would have fit in nicely here. They went and got AJ Brown, which, like you said, was his better teammate.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
like I'm excited about that. But I really do think he's going to take a big leap this year.
Yeah.
Just
Listen,
I'm putting all
30
my laurels
we
on
would
that,
all
but-
love that.
30-year bump.
yeah.
Yeah, like we said, should be a fun year. Seamus, we got a couple minutes left here. I'm going to turn it over to you for
Why?
you can imagine what.
What are we doing?
Talking about the Phillies.
Oh, you want to talk about the Phils? I'll
The
talk.
no hitter.
Yeah, a no hitter that doesn't count. So I mean that's one of the worst things
I was
in
only the
baseball.
Second, what was it, the second no hitter in Mets history or fifth? I forget.
It's the Mets.
Second, yeah.
They're one of the worst organizations of all time. I mean they have
Only behind the Phillies.
they have the '86 team and that's it. Like you talk even that 15 team that went to the World Series. Nobody
lost to the Royals.
and lost to the Royals. Nobody even gives a shit about that team because that's how bad they are. That was like one of the worst teams to ever make the World Series. They got besides the Braves last year because the Braves were just a disaster for the entire first half.
Record-wise, yeah.
Alex, you talk about like legendary GMs. Alex Anthopoulos is one of the best GMs in baseball.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. He literally reconstructed that entire team
At the deadline,
and they won the World Series. To me, I mean, dude, he acquired the World Series MVP at the deadline.
Yep.
Like,
For nothing.
which by the way, the Phillies should have signed him. but
Phillies
whatever.
don't make moves like that. Listen, I want to ask you,
Phillies don't make moves like that. With Dombrowski, they do. They just, dude, Kyle Schwarber.
Oh no,
Bryce
I
Harper.
mean like deadline acquisitions.
Oh yeah, I mean, we got who could forget Jose Bautista, who was a shell of himself.
Where are you at right now with the division? Like,
It doesn't matter right now, dude. Dude, do you think the Mets are going to sustain this?
no, I don't.
Yes.
They haven't lost.
No.
Yes.
They haven't lost a
I don't
series
know.
yet,
That's
right?
not sustainable.
Wait, they haven't lost a series. am I correct?
DeGrom is a joke. First of all,
What?
he is a joke when
He's
it
what?
comes to injuries.
Okay. I was
He's
gonna
never
say.
healthy.
Bro,
That's
He's better than any Phillies
He's
pitcher.
not going to be a factor for them.
I
if-
can't
if
say
you're-
that about Wheeler.
If you're talking long-term postseason success, I don't trust the Mets at all. I wouldn't be surprised if it's August 8th again, and which is my birthday, of course. And we're at Citizens Bank Park again. Me and O'Leary hammered, and the
It's on a Monday this year,
and
though.
the Phillies are in first place in the NL East. I just wouldn't be surprised.
But then what happens after that?
They're going to collapse. No, but seriously, I don't buy the Mets. If anybody's coming for this division, and I didn't think this 2 weeks ago, it's Atlanta, because Atlanta's not how they're playing right now.
And
Wait.
Acuna just came back.
And
this
Acuna
week.
came back, and Matt Olson is better than Freddie Freeman. I mean, I hate to say it, but he is.
So are you Marlin or are you Mar out?
Morrow?
Are you Marlin or Mar out?
I'm totally Mar out. They have a couple nice young arms, I guess. But knowing them, they're going to get traded at the deadline. The Marlins are not in a position to win. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded. I don't know what his contract is, but if Jazz Chisholm isn't locked up, I wouldn't be surprised if they traded him.
He's got a couple.
He's
years left.
dude. He's
I
electric.
think he's still cost controlled for a couple more
If
years.
he's still cost control, whatever. But I'm just saying, I don't think that's a team that wants to win.
He is very fun to watch.
I don't
He
think they care about winning. I mean, Derek Jeter left for a reason, and people are like, "Oh, he got their best player to the Yankees." Giancarlo Stanton sucks, dude. he sucks. I mean, how many World Series did
Would
they
you
win?
take him on the Phillies?
No, I don't think so. We don't need Giancarlo
That
Stanton.
is he
right now.
lying?
Yeah, we're gonna take a
I don't know. I really don't know.
we're gonna take a 220 hitter that hits 50 home runs. We already have Kyle Schwarber, so it's like, what's the difference? I'm just saying. Man, you guys are really involved into the Philly segments. It's really great. It's
I
almost
just
like
asked you questions.
it's almost like we shouldn't even talk about them anymore.
So I don't know. I'm just like kind of like you. I'm kind of like speculative, but I mean I'm also down because
No, but do you buy that the Mets are this good?
no.
I
God,
don't
no.
I don't.
man.
Okay, so
Mike,
Seamus,
come on, man.
I don't buy that the Mets are this good.
Mike,
but
you
can
know
still-
baseball.
You can still buy that the Mets are better than
Is
us.
Dom Smith
He had
a
other-
championship caliber player?
He's a bench player.
He's a bench player.
Yeah.
But is Jeff McNeil going to be like phenomenal down the stretch? Are all these guys going to be good? They just DFA'd Cano. Dude, listen, Cohen wants to do shit, but the Mets are the Mets. I just don't
Seamus,
buy it
How can you not say the Phillies are the Phillies?
because we're talking about the Mets.
Right, but like,
Wait.
what does the Mets or the Mets mean? Like they'll
That
inevitably
they're
they'll inevitably.
perpetually a disaster.
So the fuck are we?
We are
I'm
the
not s-
losingest
I'm not saying-
franchise in MLB history.
I'm not
in
saying we're
sports
not.
history, in North American sports history.
I'm not saying we're not.
But like the Phillies are gonna Philly.
No, I'm just saying I don't buy the Mets.
So this means that you're co-out, or are you co-in?
Sure, dude. I guess I'm co-out.
But okay, so I don't have to buy that the Mets are as good as they've looked, but I can still buy that they're better
Taylor,
than
I
the Phillies.
fucking hate you.
I don't think they're better than the Phillies.
I 100%.
I
do.
really don't think they're better than the Phillies. I don't.
That's fine. I'm just
I
saying.
mean,
What about
I-
pitching?
I just
about
don't think
pitching-wise?
Phillies fans are.
You talk about shit fan bases too. They're gonna go out there and boo Juris Familia, who's literally like their best
That's not a real
reliever
person.
in their franchise. like one of their best relievers in franchise history. They're going to go out there and boo him. He was on that team for 10 years. They're a bunch of fucking losers. But
what do you think so far about the Phil's pitchers? Like, how are you feeling about them?
about the rotation, I'm feeling better.
Better?
Nola's looked a lot better. Zach
Yes,
Wheeler's
yeah.
looked a lot better. He's getting more velocity. That's what you worry about.
That one start, that second
was
or third
concerning.
start, that was
Second
really
one,
scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
It really wasn't concerning though. If you're talking about
No, it
Wheeler,
was just scary. Like
because
seeing
He's
it
down
happen.
to 92, 93 miles an hour on his
Yeah.
fastball.
yeah, but
Just-
dude, he didn't get a spring. It like he
No,
just
I know,
didn't.
but it was just it was scary to see because it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, but I knew he was going to get his velo back. So I mean, listen, I think
don't bring that name up.
I think the
Don't you dare invoke Vinny Velo in this moment in this room.
Dude, did you see that exchange between Trout and Velasquez the other night? And it was pouring rain, and they were both like, "Yo, let's go. I want to keep playing." And the umpire was like, "No, we're not going to play anymore. It's raining, and baseball can't play in the rain." But
So are you middle tin or middle out?
shut up, Taylor. You're annoying. You're like one of the most annoying people in the world. You're worse than I'm John Johnson with this sports update. You're a worse producer than he is.
I don't want to go back to what I was just saying, but like I did want
John
to say
Johnson.
I
John
don't-
Johnson.
I don't think Phillies fans are in any position to say like Mets are gonna Met when like
Well,
Mike just said.
no,
we are.
we
No,
we
we're
are
not.
in a
No, we're
position to
not.
do that.
How?
We are in
How
a
so?
position to do that because the Mets are also a disaster. So we are in a
So
position.
it's like who's the tallest midget in the circus? Is what we're playing
sure,
here.
I guess.
Hey.
Who's
Yeah.
the tallest small person in the
Yeah,
in the
dude.
circus?
you can't be talking about small people like that.
But like
Sure,
the Mets are gonna
people
Met,
got-
dude. We are the losingest franchise in baseball.
That's awesome.
The Phillies are gonna Philly.
Cool. Have fun with that.
Uh,
I don't know what you want me to say.
I just think it's.
You want? I
crazy.
want you to say you're middle out.
I'm middle out then. I'm middle out. The Marlins are going to win the division.
Arlen.
Jazz Chisholm's going to be World Series MVP. And
Jizz Chisholm? Pretty sick.
who the hell else do they have down there? I don't even know. I don't even know who's on the Marlins. I know they have a couple nice arms. That's about
Sandy
it.
Alcantara.
Yeah, he's whatever.
And you love a couple nice arms.
I like a couple nice arms. Damn right I do. But am I concerned about the bullpen? Yeah. I'm concerned about this bullpen.
What
Bullpen's
year-
actually
what-
been fine recently.
like-
I know,
Yeah,
but
honestly.
Isn't
yeah,
it
but
crazy how,
I,
like-
I do not trust Juris Familia
Isn't
at
it
all.
crazy how
he's
you
got
could
to go.
At all.
What year can you date back to where we weren't saying I'm worried about?
Yeah,
the bullpen"?
right. That's
when
what
was the
freaks me
last
out.
time that
Well,
fucking expression?
2008 with Brad Lidge.
Yes,
That's about it.
literally.
Well, I mean,
That expression has left the mouths of Phillies fans for over a fucking decade. One decade
Plus.
of I'm a little bit worried about
Plus.
plus. One decade
What do you mean
plus of
plus?
I've been a little worried. Well,
As in more than a decade.
Yeah.
that's
14
not true.
years.
That's not true. Ricky Battalico was our most dominant closer before Brad Lidge.
That was
That's true.
1993.
Yeah, that was
That's-
19
I'm just saying.
yeah. So since 2008, we haven't had a reliable bullpen.
No, yeah, we have. You don't miss Antonio Bastardo and Justin DeFreitas and
Forget Jose Mesa.
Jose Mesa and rest in peace Real Cormier. I mean,
Ryan Madsen when he used to come out of the bullpen.
he was phenomenal.
I remember
loved
him.
I loved him.
He was elite. Like
Yeah.
he literally was elite.
He was an okay starter, an elite bullpen guy.
Well, Kyle Kendrick was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Both as a starter, a hitter.
Wilson Valdez,
Yeah.
great out of the bullpen
Vince
in the
Velasquez.
21st inning.
Vince Velasquez out there in left field was phenomenal. But dude, I in all seriousness, this lineup's going to hit. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Schwarber's heating up. Castellanos has been hitting the entire year. JT's been fine. I mean, defensively he's been terrible. Nobody's talking about that, but defensively he's been terrible. He's been missing his guy like on throws to second base, and best catcher in baseball hasn't really been great defensively. I don't know what the metrics are on him so far this season, but they can't be great. But I don't think that's going to be a long-term thing because usually he's certainly not a liability defensively.
Yeah. Honestly, he might just be a little rusty because of spring training.
He's looked in the Mets series. He looked pretty bad, but
A lot more pass balls than you're used to seeing from him too.
a lot
which
of
is
pass balls.
concerning.
And I mean, listen, when you're catching Alvarado, I mean, I don't know. Like you should be kind of like you should anticipate that.
Should
Yeah.
be ready for anything there.
What's so funny, Taylor?
The great Delco accent last name. Alvarado.
Alvarado, bro.
Jose Alvarado.
All right.
Well, by the way, I think the Northeast accent is the same as the Delco accent.
Very similar.
It's the
It's more pronounced.
and I
than-
will never understand
Okay.
why there was a Northeast Delco rivalry ever. It's the same thing. They are the same
No,
people.
it's a little
This-
different.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Vince, thoughts?
Geographically, it's different, but it's the same.
No, it's fabricated.
It's all the same. Like Northeast
No,
Philly
no,
people
Seamus.
are the same as
No,
Delco.
it-
Seamus, this is accent-wise, no.
No, I'm just saying as people.
Maybe as people. I don't know a single person from the Northeast that talks like those dickheads.
I mean, most of the people that you hang out with talk like that.
No, we don't.
Wow,
Yes,
you
you-
people.
Yes, you do.
Who?
Jesus.
I'm not gonna ask who, but
I'll tell you.
dude, anything else before we wrap up here?
What? We have to leave right now? Are we doing a
Been
jail?
going for an hour.
Are we doing a jail segment? Do you have the music queued up? If you don't have the music queued up, we're not doing it.
Okay, I guess we're not doing it.
All right. Listen, we've been going for an hour, Seamus. I got to call it and then sometime.
Yeah, let's talk about Honey Badger for an hour next time, and the NFL draft, and let's give 2
Seamus?
seconds to the Phillies. And the 2 seconds
2 seconds.
the 2 seconds we give to the Phillies, it's all Vince screaming about how we're the worst franchise in the history of the
Seamus,
sport,
according
of
to
all
you,
North
according
American
to you, we
sports.
shouldn't be talking about baseball for another month at least.
Yeah.
but
None of this
true.
matters.
This is
do-
true.
But Vince,
Nothing that happened yet matters,
do you
correct?
I want to go back to your Mets thing one more time.
Clearly does.
Do you remember who finished in second place in the division last year?
Marlins.
The Phillies did,
the
above the
Phillies.
Mets. So I'm just saying, and it came
Built-in.
We
down.
were the first loser.
It came
awesome.
down. It came down to the.
We're
last,
talking about the Fightins.
It came down to the last series in Atlanta for us to be able to make a playoff spot or not.
And they choked in horrific fashion.
Oh,
Bryce
no,
Harper
no,
went
Bryce
0
Harper.
for.
Bryce Harper choked in horrific fashion. Bryce Harper did. So I mean, you want to give me they're the worst? How could you ever criticize the Mets?
No, I'm not.
The Mets are worse than the Phillies.
Don't throw
even
stones
right
if
now.
you live in a glass house.
And Starling
That's one of Billy
Marte.
Joel's best albums.
Starling Marte is a fine player, but everyone just chooses to forget that he's a PED guy and that he's probably still juicing.
Why do you
But-
care? You supported a
You
domestic
wanted him.
abuser.
You wanted
I
him
did
now
not
in this
support a
offseason.
domestic abuser.
You do right now.
I don't support Odubel Herrera, but I'm not going to go on Twitter and clutch
But-
my pearls whenever he gets a hit and say, "Oh, get him off my baseball team."
Yeah.
Well, no, let's not get him off your baseball team if he's hitting. That's
See,
all
I
I'm
get-
saying.
Yeah, my values come before my care about the Phillies. I
Ah,
guess.
well, you're a better person than I am, Vince.
All right, whatever. Anything
You're
else you want to?
see, you are the
Oh,
problem.
God.
You are the problem with the left. You're like the new
But wait,
left.
you literally just said earlier today that you don't vote because of the same reason, because of your moral convictions.
No. But he is. Well, no.
No,
but,
sports. There are no moral convictions for Seamus if you're an athlete.
That's a totally different thing. I also said that I understand why you vote.
So you
So
don't
it's
support PED users because it's probably immoral.
Why
but
would
you-
I support a guy that's on the Mets?
Oh well, I'm not asking.
That's who I'm
just
talking
saying
about.
PED users.
I supported a PED user. He's one of my favorite players of all time, Carlos Ruiz.
All right.
Adderall, bitch.
Anything else
And
anyone
he did
wants to say? to wrap
Adderall,
up?
and he
Did
didn't
he?
get approved. Yeah, he got. he
Well,
got
if we did do
suspended.
jail tonight, it'd be Doc for me. Which,
Oh well, I mean, it would have been Doc across the board.
No, Matisse. Come on, Matisse.
no,
By-
for me
by
it's
the way,
Doc.
By the
You
way,
can put Matisse.
according to our friend Eric, yes, that one. The man that talks a lot, I guess, is what he's going to be known for when it's all said and done. He spoke a lot of things, but he said that John Kruk cursed in the booth tonight, and he was cursing about the shift.
Oh no.
So
What kind of curse?
shit? He said shit.
Can't say that.
You can't say. FCC's going to be all
Wait,
over
wait.
it.
Was it just a slip up? Because shift shit.
No, he said like I'm sick of this shift shit or something.
Yeah. That's
Whoa.
I love Krug. I love Krug so much.
So he may
my
not
spirit
put on
animal.
those headsets again.
He might still be
No.
concussed from the hot dog incident last week.
Yeah, he's probably
honestly.
he was drunk and concussed.
Let's get me out of here because I have an hour drive home. Mike.
Oh, so that's why you want to leave.
It's
It's like let's save the Phillies for the end so we don't talk about them.
Mike, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Oh, here we
my
go.
Been a
last,
pleasure,
My
fellas.
last note as we get played out, what I want to say is thecut.com right now has a list of abortion funds you could donate to. Go protect a woman's right to vote.
Right to vote?
Right to have
They're
an
taking
abortion.
that away
Go
too.
protect women's rights over their own body.
They're
thecut.com.
taking everything
You
away.
can find funds to vote.